Marty, you are officer of the day, so you kick off the meeting.
Who's starting the meeting?
Marty, start kicking.
Well, Marty needs to unmute if he's doing that.
All right, maybe another officer can step in since Marty probably can't hear us right now.
I can do it if you like.
Oh.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us at this early hour. Are there any announcements that people would like to say? If not, I want to turn the meeting.
I do have an announcement to make, Joe.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Next Saturday, I've been chosen to do the Disability Pride event downtown Buffalo at Riverworks. It's from 11 to 3, and I've been chosen to do some poetry reading regarding my disability and showing some support. So I'll be doing a performance at 2 o'clock next Saturday, but please come on out. It's at Buffalo Riverworks, 11 to 3. Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Look forward to it. So good morning, everyone. And I'd like to turn our meeting over to our fellow Toastmaster, Dr. Gerald Stevens. Thank you, Gerald.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing on this fine morning? Hopefully great. Today's theme is movie quotes. So we're going to have a good time. What we're going to do is I'm going to read some movie quotes throughout the meeting, and we're going to test your knowledge. I would like you to see how many you actually get correct. And by the end, this is on an honor system, if you could say how many, what is the highest amount correct you could get. So you got to remember honor system. So first one, because movie quotes are amazing. And I use them all the time in my life. I will share them with my kids. They'll come up randomly to the point where it's annoying. Me and my wife will do it as well, just like randomly quote movies. And sometimes they're not even like big quotes or little quotes that only me and her get. So I have a lot of fun with that. So I wanted to have fun with you guys doing that. So I have an audio quote for you to hear first. It's on my phone, so hopefully you'll be able to hear it. And I do use this quote from time to time with my kids. And it is actually in a list. I have two lists of 100 best quotes that I'll be using today. So let's see if you get this. And if you can hear it, let me know.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it.
You heard it all?
It's Liam.
Yeah,
I know that.
It's Liam Neeson and Taken.
Liam.
Yes.
Oh, very nice. Yes. Good job. Liam Neeson and Taken. I actually use that as an audio Jeopardy. I did movie themes as well for my students. But I use videos, but this is my audio Final Jeopardy question. And they all got it. So yes, Taken. So for my kids, I'd pretend I was a spy in my former life. And I had a particular set of skills required over a very long time that were nightmares for them. So I enjoyed doing that. Unfortunately for me, they would tell me, "You don't have any skills, Dad." So there was the comeback. So that's a lot of fun. So I started with an audio quote for today. I'll throw out a few more. Some of these are pretty simple. and then we'll go into the role holders of the day, okay? I'm the king of the world. What movie is that from?
Titanic.
Titanic. Excellent. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Dirty
Dirty
Dancing.
Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. Carpe diem. Seize the day.
Dead Poet Society.
Awesome, awesome movie. And I have the need for speed.
Top Gun.
Yep.
Top Gun. We're off to a roaring start today. Great. And as we go along, there'll be some older movies as well. And it'd be interesting to see what the number one quote was on both lists of top 100. And don't look it up, please. Okay. Our role holders today. I kind of skipped over Maggie. So Maggie, if you could inspire us today, usually you go first.
Good morning. I chose to do my inspiration from a movie quote as well, just to keep in the theme. And I also want to add, when my mom used to pick me up for lunch, she would have lectures. And I don't mean lecture you like, clean up your room. I mean, she would talk about astronomy or astrology, either or, knowing the difference. She would talk about history. And I used to always say, am I the only kid who gets a lecture for lunch? I just want to eat. So I'm going to give you a little lecture this morning. Don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even me. You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you that you can't do it. You want something, go get it, period. And that was from, excuse me, The Pursuit of Happiness. And it was Will Smith's character, Chris Gardner. I also wanted to just add a little one from in the same vein from Dead Poet Society, which is, of course, one of my favorite movies. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. Thank you. Over to you, Master Toastmaster.
Yes, very inspiring words from Maggie. The word of the day, our word master is Margot. Can you tell us the word of the day so we can use it in the rest of the meeting?
Good morning, everyone. Are we doing the pledge to the flag as well, or are we skipping that this morning?
I did skip it, yes.
So anyway, just throwing that out. Sorry, that's my controlling nature comes out. Secretary Lions Club, I ran our meeting last night with a velvet glove. Anyway, the word of the day this morning is iconic, because movie quotes are an iconic part of our cultural lexicon. So iconic means widely considered to epitomize an era, culture, community, place, etc. It is celebrated, revered, or idolized. So you have a choice of using the word icon, iconic, iconically, whatever you'd like to use, and I will keep track and report when called upon to do so. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Wordmaster. There'll definitely be a lot of iconic quotes today that you will recognize. Did Katie log on? She is our master.
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. Katie, can you tell us what your job is today?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I will keep track of Ums pregnant pauses and report back at the end when called upon to do so, like Margot. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Katie. Toughing it out with the rough voice there. Our grammarian is Dave Licata. What do you have today? What is your job?
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to keep track of the King's English to make sure that it's not abused. I'm going to be very alert for the overwork of the word so. I don't want to hear ta instead of to. That really bothers me. So we're going to make sure and do our best. Once I make notes of your indiscretions, to curb it in the future so we can have a more smoother conversation. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dave. Our quiz master today is Mike Florio. What's your job?
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Leave the gun. Take the cannolis.
Nice.
That's one of my favorites. My job this morning will be to listen intently throughout the meeting and come up with some questions that I can test your knowledge at the end of the meeting. Hopefully, we'll have some iconic questions for you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mike. And our quote master is Yang. Yang, do you have a quote for us today? I saw she logged in. She's still logged in?
Yep.
Okay. Can you hear us, Yang? Looks very dark on that screen.
Yang, if you can hear us, maybe sign out and sign back on again. And Eric and I were in touch with her last night, so I think she's prepared. Yeah, maybe we'll come back to her.
Yes, yes. We'll come back to her a little later. Our jester is Darcy. Do you have a joke for us today?
I do. My job is to bring some iconic levity to our meeting this morning. And I actually picked some jokes that actually came from movies, very popular movies. I have three very short ones. The first one is from Jurassic Park in 1993. This movie came out. Tim says, "What do you call a blind dinosaur?" Dr. Alan Brandt says, "I don't know. What do you call a blind dinosaur?" And Tim says, "Do you think he saw us?" Tim says, "What do you call a blind dinosaur's dog?" Dr. AG says, "You got me." Tim says, "Do you think he saw us, Rex?" Second one. I don't hear any laughing, but anyway, they get better. Second one comes from Rocky, which came out, Rocky 5, which came out in 1990. Rocky says, "Knock, knock." Rocky Jr. says, "Who's there?" Rocky says, "Tuna fish." Rocky Jr. says, "Tuna fish who?" And Rocky says, "You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish." How iconic is that? And finally, from the Bicentennial Man in 1999, two cannibals are eating a clown, and one turns to the other and says, "Does this taste funny to you?"
Very well done.
done. Well done, Darcy. Our next role holder is the timer. David Jones, tell us your job duty, please.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This morning I'll be your timer, and it looks like all speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, so I will use the iconic Toastmaster coloring in the back of green, yellow, and red. And for our table topics, we are 1.5 to 2 minutes. So 1.5 green, 1:45 yellow, and green or red at 2. And evaluations 2 to 3 minutes. And I will report when called upon. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, David. I would be remiss if I did not introduce the general evaluator, Steve Smith. What is your job today, Steve?
First, make this thing work, which I think I did. My job today is to evaluate this circus. This should be fun. I get to evaluate the evaluators, most importantly, and how good a job they do evaluating the speakers. I also get to evaluate the meeting, the Toastmaster, anything else I feel like talking about. I have a quote that's kind of a giveaway.
Sure.
There are far worse things awaiting man than death.
Sounds vampire-like.
That's from the original 1931 Dracula with Bela Lugosi.
Ah, nice. Well done. Thank you, Steve. I do see that Yang put a quote in the chat. So I'll read that in bold. "It's what you do right now that makes a difference." Not sure who that is from, but it is from Black Hawk Down. Oh, nice. Okay, well done. Well done, Yang. We also have a table topics role holder, Sylvia. Are you ready to do your table topics now?
Right. Table topics, as everyone knows, is a 2 to 3 minute spontaneous conversation that we're going to have today. And please remember to use the word of the day. So one of my favorites movies, matter of fact, I have it still on demand. I don't think I ever erased it off because when I get bored and there's nothing on television, I go right to this movie. And the quote is, as soon as you hear the quote, you're going to know what it's from. You can't handle the truth. A Good Few Men. Jack Nicholson's at the courthouse being interrogated or asked questions if you ordered that code red to kill an officer. And of course, he blurted out he did it. And it was just a good movie all the way around. So I'm going to start with Len. What is your opinion on A Few Good Men if you have seen it? And is there a line from that movie that you like or another movie?
Thank you, Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters. If I did see that movie in its entirety, it was so long ago, I really can't remember much about it. Of course, everybody remembers that clip you just referenced there. Iconic. It's almost how it encapsulates the entire film in one line. Iconic, if you will. But I will segue into another fine film, one that has countless quotable lines if you've ever seen it, or if you've seen it a dozen times as I have. And I'm just gonna throw a couple out here before I give the movie title. Be the ball, Danny. Be the ball. Okay. That is, of course, Dan Aykroyd in a golf contest in this film. Another line, as the rain is coming down pretty heavy, Bill Murray's character says, I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for a while yet. Somehow those two lines just epitomize the madcap hilarity of that movie. And so many movies really call upon us to pay attention to the dialogue. Dialogue is critical to developing the story arc and to making a memorable impression on people, which of course gets people and their friends in the theaters. But you wonder if in writing the scripts for these, the writers know what line is going to be a hit or not. Do they have a sense, or are they as surprised as the rest of us? Madam Topic Master.
Thank you, Len. As a kid, I watched The Wizard of Oz every year when it was on television. I guess the color TV came out just before that, and everybody loved The Wizard of Oz because it went from black and white to color, and it was fascinating. And the one quote I always will remember, Dorothy saying, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Carol Ann, have you watched that? And can you recite any other quotes from Wizard of Oz? Carol Ann, are you there? There she is.
Trying to get my, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I really liked the Wizard of Oz also. And I used to go to a friend's house to watch it in color before we got the color TV. However, to me, the most iconic film I ever saw was Gone with the Wind, and the quote of Scarlett's when she was back from the war. She couldn't grow anything to eat. She was out in a field digging and found a carrot, I think. And she stood up, put her fist in the air, and said, "As God is my witness, as God is my witness, they're not going to lick me. I'm going to live through this. When it's all over, I'll never be hungry again. No, nor any of my folk. If I have to lie, steal, cheat, or kill, as God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again." And also, I'm trying to find my timer there. And also, of course, the quote of Rhett Butler when he left and said, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," was shocking at that time, to use any sort of off-color word. And I did read the story about Margaret Mitchell's life. And she took that from an incident when a love interest walked away from her. And she said the thing that hurt was he never even turned around. And of course, that was the same with Rhett Butler. Mr. or Miss Table Topics Master.
Thanks, Carol Ann. Animated movies always have a meaning, the good or bad. They always want to teach us something. A good example is from Kung Fu Panda. Master Oogway, I think that's how you pronounce it, is with the Po, the panda, and he says to Po, or actually, Po says, "Maybe I should quit, go back making noodles." Master Oogie says, "Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned on what life's and what would be." There is a saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. And that is why it is called the present. Beth, do you have a meaningful quote to share with us?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, for this opportunity. I am going to go to Gone with the Wind also. But my favorite quote there, I was reminded of during our festival last year, because it was very hot. It was 85, 90 degrees. There was a woman who came in about 8.5 months pregnant. She was finally convinced by the EMTs to go to the mobile Niagara County unit and stay in the cool for a little bit. I went to check on her about an hour or two later, and the women there were hilarious because in effect they did the modern version of, "I don't know nothing about birthing no babies." And they had convinced her to go home because they really did not want to birth a baby at the festival. Maybe this woman wanted the baby birthed at the festival, but they really did not want that. And I just cracked up. I thought I gave the woman a lot of credit. I was honored that she loved our festival so much, but the women that were there from the county, they were very vehement that the nurse wasn't there Saturday. She was going to be there Sunday. So the woman really, they couldn't be much help to her. So that was one of my favorite lines from Gone with the Wind. Yes, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, Miss Scarlett. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Beth. I am going to ask Margot first for a words report.
Thank you.
And I didn't use one.
I was just going to mention that Beth Glenn and Carol Ann both did, however. So please make sure use the word iconic. We've had quite a few people use it so far. Thank you.
And David Jones, how about a timer's report?
All three of them qualified, with Lynn at 209, Carol at 210, and Beth at 145.
Okay, the ballots will be up shortly. Please cast your votes, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay. Just a little housekeeping. Darcy put in the quote that she's unable to speak next week. So whoever the Toastmaster is should be aware of that. And hopefully someone's willing to take her place. So please sign up. I neglected to say that some of you guys already did that, but I put it in the, there's your poll. I put it in an email to share your favorite quote if you are a roll holder. So when you're giving your reports, if you did not do so, please do so. Other famous quotes for you to guess. Let's see if you can get these. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. Anyone?
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, 1968. 1968. I have the dates for these. I was going to report those as well. What else do I have for you? There's no crying in baseball.
A league
Major
of
League
own.
or League of Their Own.
League of Their Own.
League of Their Own.
Come on.
League of Their Own, 1992. I See Dead People.
The Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense, 1999. I know, makes you feel real young, right? Badges. We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have.
We don't need no stinking badges.
The Treasure of Sierra Madre.
I knew someone would know it. Good job, Dave. That's an older one, 1948. And one everybody should know. Mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know.
Forrest Gump.
No, they're making a new one. I don't know if you knew that. 1994.
What?
They're making another one, yes. 1994.
They're making a new Naked Gun movie. Why not make Forrest Gump? All right.
Why not, right? So those are a few fun movie quotes for you all. Hopefully you're keeping track. At this point in the meeting, I'd like to introduce our evaluator number 1, and that is Michael Licata. Would you introduce our first speaker's information here?
Good morning, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guest this morning. Joe is speaking out of the Pathways Presentation Mastery Level 1, Writing a Speech with Purpose. His goal this morning is to review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Mr. Timer, the time is 5 to 7 minutes, and you have his title, correct?
I do. I do have his title. Thank you, Michael. Joe Bodnack, our president, is going to speak today, and his title is Benefits of Being a Toastmaster. Joe Bodnack, round of applause on Zoom.
Thank you, Dr. Stevens. What are the benefits of being a Toastmaster? Well, when I first heard about Toastmasters, before I joined, I heard that there's a lot of benefits to joining, learning to improve your speaking skills and meeting others. Primarily, it was to meet others that I wanted to join. I needed to get out there because, a sad event just occurred in my life. I had just lost my dad, and my mom says, you need to get out. You need to meet other people, expand your horizons. And I did. Met all you wonderful people and have enjoyed it ever since. But there's many benefits of joining this wonderful club. At that time when I had just started subbing. Now, I'm going to tell you, kids, teenagers can be the most hardest audience that you can ever encounter. Yeah, so joining the club had given me the confidence to walk into a classroom, not knowing what I was going to expect, not knowing what kind of kids I was going to deal with, and to be able to do my job with confidence and even enjoy doing what I was doing. Because a lot of the kids thought, oh, it's a substitute teacher today. We get to be silly and goof off. No, no, no. Not with me, you're not. So they gave me the confidence to walk in a room, walk in a classroom, do my job, and do it well. I also became aware when I was watching TV of other people's speeches, and not just other people on TV, but in everyday life. I'm not going to say critical of their of how they talk, but more aware. It's like being awe master, being grammarian, how they spoke, the the words that they used. A lot of public speakers, how many uhs they did or ums. I remember when I started taking some classes at Buff State. I went to an orientation and this young lady got up in front of everyone and she was a guest speaker. Excuse me, frog in my throat. She had actually gotten her master's degree. And she was talking about her experiences going through the master's program. I kid you not, this is how she talked. Well, I got my master's degree. And that's a very valuable thing to have. And the master's program here at Buff State is truly wonderful. And I wish everybody best of luck in your education. And I'm thinking to myself, honey, that's all great that you got your master's. Now you need to go to Toastmasters and learn how to speak properly. Wasn't trying to be critical, but you know, I was more aware of these things after joining our club. And speaking of Buff State, a couple times when I was taking classes at Buff State, I had to get up in front of a class and give a presentation. I was able to do so with confidence and be able to do what I needed to do and give the presentation that I had and even have fun with it with confidence and be able to speak properly and do the and give my presentation really well. Other people I remember when I did that complimented how well I actually got up and spoke in front of others. And that was because of Toastmasters. That was because of one of the benefits that I did. And also, I've always considered myself more of a follower than a leader. Being president will enable me to move out of my comfort zone and get experience with being a leader. I am truly touched and honored that many people in this club considered me and wanted me to be president and believed in me. So if you believe in me, I have to believe in myself. So the benefits of Toastmasters are truly iconic, truly wonderful. It helped me with my subbing, with my job. It helped me be aware of others, how they spoke. And like I said, being able to give other presentations when I took classes, not just at Buff State, but when I had to speak with people and work and that sort of thing in my job. So I continue to reap the benefits of being in this club and being with wonderful people, and I wish everyone the best of luck in your journey through Toastmasters as well. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you speaking today. Always interested to hear from you. Our second evaluator was very kind and stepped up to substitute. I threw her in the schedule. She was a gamer. He said, no problem. We'll make it happen. So I appreciate you doing that, Tracy. We appreciate you. You're evaluator too. What is the information for the speech today from speaker two?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And I have to tell you, the most iconic movie in my mind, probably not in 50% of the population's mind, but in my mind is Steel Magnolias. And one of my favorite quotes is from Shirley MacLaine, who says, I'm not crazy. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. I think it's a great quote. And there's quite a few quotes from that movie. Back to Phil. He's going to be giving us a speech today from the Presentation Mastery program. He's at level 1, writing a speech with a purpose. His time is 5 to 7 minutes. Mr. Toastmaster, do you have his title?
I do have his title. There is an intro. Would you like me to do it as well?
I guess so. Thank you.
Okay, I will do that. His speech title and intro is Can You Really Slow Down? He wrote My Intro or Project Goals, The Insidious Effects of Hurrying from the Harvard Business Review. I talked about this in my last speech. I have been working on slowing down and being under control. How is that working out? Let me know and so give him feedback, Madam Evaluator. Let me tell you some stories about that and how your mind handles it and how others react to it. That is the intro he put in the agenda. Phil, are you ready?
I am now.
It's all you, Phil.
I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to hit you. To hell I'm not. Boom. Not an iconic movie, but an iconic actor. Who would that be? One of my favorites, John Wayne in McClintock. Great cowboy movie. I loved it. Listen, world. Listen, world. Slow down. I want to get off. I want to get off. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, no guests. I've been working on this insidious effects of hurrying, and I am actually trying to slow down. I've been in Toastmasters since 1982, August of 1982. And I'm working on getting back to basics. What's basics? Two things: communication skills and speaking skills. Slowing down is not as easy as it sounds. Everyone is in a hurry today. Let's talk about the tailgaters. I've told you that story. They get right behind you, within 2 feet of you, and then within a block, they're turning off. You want to be first? Is that it? Or are you just late because you started late? Oh, let me tell you about other people's perspectives on slowing down when they see you slowing down. We have a golf group. We play on Wednesdays, and sometimes what they'll say is, "You slowing down? What does that mean? Stop?" You get on the tee. "Well, we're still young. Why don't you hit the ball?" Now, I did play golf with Dave Licata one time. Dave is notoriously a little slower, and we played. I'm slow as well, and it worked out well because I was able to concentrate and had one of my best games of the year. I'm not a great golfer, but I had one of my better scores, and that's all you're looking at is better scores. Nobody can master the game of golf. That's just an oxymoron. So, but I'm feeling good about this slowing down thing. You know, the only problem is your brain. I like to slow down to make fewer mistakes, to do things correctly, enjoy myself, enjoy the moment that I'm in. But your brain's saying, hurry up, you gotta get going, hurry up, you gotta get going. So it's all this going on in your brain while you're trying to just slow down and do it correctly. But your brain's saying, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And that comes from years of you hearing that idea of you've got to keep moving on. Oh, I feel it's working. Slowing down. I'm making fewer mistakes. More relaxed. How about that? A little bit more relaxed in our hectic world. And it's more enjoyable. I enjoy it more. Yesterday, we played golf. I did not. It was too hot for me. I wasn't going to go out there. 5 people went out, came back, but they only played 6 holes because it was so hot. Me, I just sat at the clubhouse, had a little cocktail, and just enjoyed the moment. Then Dave came out. He came out a little bit late. He was held up with something, and he took 2 hours. He played 9 holes. He asked me, I said, no, it's too hot for me. Last time I played in this weather, I nearly passed out because I wasn't hydrated, and you can do that. I have finally keep hydrated, but I said, why go out and torture yourself in such high heat and humidity? I see people coming back in. They're now I'm not that big of a culprit. I'm going to go out and knock myself out on that. So I want to do is enjoy life more. Now, listen, world. Listen, world. Slow down. I want to get off. I want to get off. And I want to get back to basics. Now, listen. If you want to make fewer mistakes, be more relaxed, and have a more enjoyable life, do one thing. Slow down, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Phil. Our third evaluator is Jill Roaring. Can you introduce your speaker, please?
Yes, I can. Eric is speaking from Dynamic Leadership, Level 3 elective. He is supposed to be doing a topic that is unusual or unexpected in our club. And we're testing his ability to keep the audience engaged. This is a familiar topic, though, because this is the third draft of his Lockport Distinguished Alumni speech. So, Eric, 5 to 7 minutes, take it away.
Thank you. Before we start the timer, Mr. Timer, hold on for the timer for just 1 second. Going back to Phil's speech real quick, every word he said is true for me because I have done so much running around, going too fast, and then all of a sudden I hit the brakes real fast, and all of a sudden crash. So I am guilty of that. So thank you, Phil, for reminding me that I need to slow down more, and I know I think I really need to do that this year more. So, Mr. Timer, I am ready. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Again, this is a familiar speech topic that I'm doing for the August 20th Lockport alumni ceremony. And I did a little tweaking, but I'm also looking for some feedback as well because I need to make this more effective, inspiring, and also leave you with a smile. And I hope I can do that this morning. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow honorees, family, and friends. First and foremost, I would like to thank the committee for this prestigious honor. To receive such a wonderful distinction, I had and still have to this day a fantastic support system. And everybody helping me through this school career and beyond has been most the rewarding experience. As a learning disabled student, my parents and my siblings worked very hard to help me with my schoolwork and laid a foundation or a path, so to speak, for me to succeed through the rest of my life. Was it a difficult, hard experience journey? Of course, but it was worth it in the end. As I reflect on my school career, it took a village to guide me through my learning disability, help me become a fantastic runner, along with all the other runners I have the pleasure of running with throughout my cross country years with Coach Bob Eberhart and all the other great runners I have pleasure knowing. Being nicknamed Jimbo because that's who I was in my school career as Jimbo because of my love of James Bond and setting up for what the future has in store for me. Being a student at Lockport High School, the teachers were very supportive and caring about how I do, asking questions to make sure that I understood the material that was being taught to me. I want to say thank you to all the teachers from John Powell Elementary to Lockport High for their guidance and confidence in me to be a lifelong learner and to succeed beyond the classroom. There's a lot of teachers who I loved, but there's one teacher I want to mention. His name is Scott Rudinger. For the past 2 years in my freshman and sophomore year, I was in his social studies class. And him and myself, we are still close friends and we still get a chance to message each other every now and then. At the end of my sophomore year, I gave him all of my work so he can keep it for future references for other students to use as a stepping stone for their projects. He called it the E.J. Schneider file. One day I emailed him, this was this past spring, just to say hello, how things are going. And he told me that to this day, he still has all the classwork that I have completed during my time in his class. And that to me, that feels very special and that hold close to me in my heart. There are a lot of people I want to thank, but the important people who I want to thank first is my family. To my parents, Mary and George, you both worked very hard, built up my confidence level, helped me overcome my disability, and made sure that I get the work done. I know it wasn't easy, but we did it together. To my older brother, Patrick, and my sisters, Andrea and Alyssa, thank you for always being there, helping me, and making sure that I understand the material better. As I work at Canisius University, where I went back to school to obtain my associate's degree in humanities, my family was there to help me, even though I can do it. And they were still a phone call away to guide me and help me. Another thank you goes out to my brother-in-law, Derek, and to my nieces, Camille, Aria, and Nola, and to my girlfriend for always supporting me. To my friends from AM Lockport, to the Niagara Celtic Festival, you've all have been an inspiration to me, and I am deeply grateful for all the love and support you have given me. As I end this speech, I have a quote from Henry Winkler, the Fonz himself, as he too has a learning disability. He goes by saying, "You don't have any idea how powerful you are and what you can achieve. You literally cannot give in to your fear. You literally have got to walk over it, step on his face, and keep moving toward where you want to go. And eventually, if I can get there, there's no reason you can't get there." Thank you very much. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Eric. At this point in the meeting, I'd like to call for a timers report. Mr. David Jones.
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster, all three qualify with the buffer. We had Joe at 4:52, Phil Russell at 5:45, and Eric at 6:16. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. And you will see a poll up shortly, and we can vote. So let's do that real quick. And let's get back to some movie quotes. So many movie quotes. Hasta la vista, baby. What movie is that from?
Terminator 2.
Terminator.
Ooh, very good. Very specific, Mark.
Terminator 2, yes.
Well done. 1991. What else do I have for you? Show me the money.
Jerry Maguire.
1996. Well done. A little harder one, maybe. I put a picture of this movie in my Jeopardy for my class, and they didn't get it. They didn't know it at all. The stuff that dreams are made of.
Maltese Falcon. Thank you.
Well done. I even put the Falcon in the picture. They still didn't get it. 1941. A bit older. What we've got here is a failure to communicate.
That's Cool
Cocaine and
Hand
Bandit.
Luke. Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke, 1967. Go ahead, make my day.
Dirty Harry.
Harry.
Not
From
Dirty
Sudden
Harry.
Impact.
Well done, Sudden Impact, 1983. But it is Dirty Harry, just not the right movie. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Godfather, Part
Godfather.
1.
Part 1, number 2 on the list. 1972 on one list. On to the other list. You Complete Me.
Jerry Maguire.
Also Jerry
Maguire.
Maguire.
Well done. 1996. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Braveheart.
1995. And only part of that speech, I could recite the whole thing at one point in my life. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Godfather 3,
3.
4, whatever it is.
3. Well done, Mark. 1990. You guys are all very good at these quotes. I guess I should expect no less, being you guys are Toastmasters. At this point in the meeting, I'd like to introduce our evaluators. Hopefully they've had time to analyze the speeches and will give us their feedback. First evaluator, Mike Licata, are you ready?
Yes, I am, Mr. Toastmaster. And before I start, one of my favorite, more of a modern movie quote comes from the movie Superbad from 2007. And it's from the three main characters are all together, and he goes, "McLovin, what are you, an Irish R&B singer? One name?" Most of that's explicitly laden, so that's one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite modern comedies. Now we'll begin, Mr. Timer, my evaluation of Joe. Joe, I want to first of all thank you for joining Pathways and picking a path. As one of our older Toastmasters, getting used to this new technology thing, I know it took you a while to join Pathways, so thank you for picking one path, and we look forward to your journey in Pathways, but not before you started reminiscing about what brought you into Toastmasters initially. We all, as a community club, were brought here for different reasons. It's what makes our club strong. It's what makes our clubs one of the better clubs, I guess, in the country or the world, given we have so many members from outside of the area. Now, this one is going to be specific to our current situation in Zoom. To help you better have a better presentation online, I feel it's important to make sure that you have a light on in front of you. when you're giving your speech online, you have to, we want to see your face. I felt when you're giving your speech that you were giving a silhouette, and it was more, it was more just looking at your entire body instead of your facial expressions and things like that. So going forward, as we continue these next couple of weeks still online, maybe position the camera in a different angle so that instead of a light behind you, you have a light in front of you, so it can show off the features and we can see your entire body and your face better. The use of humor in your speech, I thought was important. You did a good job with it. You used one specific example, and to better make, I'm not sure if you made time or not, but I think that to add to that speech, maybe you should have used another example to help build into those layers, to build in the layers of the speech to make sure that you made time. Because one of the other things I felt is that you were searching for the timer. It was a little bit harder on Zoom, but you were searching for the timer to make sure you came in time. It takes away from the speech. I did also listen for, I heard at least one, a couple of ands, a couple of so's. So I think it's important that you remember to slow down. My other piece of advice is to make sure you have either a water bottle just off frame like I have, or something else, so when you start, so it helps you clear out your throat a little bit better, makes you sound like a better Toastmaster. But I want to thank you again for signing up for Pathways, and I look forward to your presidency this year, and I'm sure you'll do a great job, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mike. Our second evaluator is Tracy Farrell. Are you ready?
I am, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, and especially Phil, he gave us a great speech today. And the purpose of his speech was to convince us to slow down. And that was one of his goals, is to try to convince us to do so. Phil opens up, and this is one of the things that I've learned from Phil over the years, is to give a one-sentence background of your speech and then come out and say, fellow Toastmasters, guests, this is what we're going to talk about. He's always done that great, and I've learned that from him a few years back. He then goes on to how to slow down while you go back to the basics. And of course, Phil, being a DTM, he ticked all of those technique points. He had clarity, eye contact, vocal variety, and he especially did that when he was talking about golf, and he slowed his speech down. He did great. He had great gestures. He was comfortable. The purpose of his speech was to convince us to slow down. He gave us one reason. He told us, well, you'll make fewer mistakes if you slow down, which is so true. When you slow down, you concentrate more on what you're doing. I would have liked to see him give me more than just one reason why I should slow down, because I'm an A-type personality and I need quite a few reasons to slow down besides that. And so we all do. However, he did do a fantastic job on that. And then he even he started off with the quote, slow down, slow down. He ended up with that same call to action, slow down. And he really yelled it and made us understand that we need to slow down. So I think he did a fantastic job. He's a perfect DTM, ticked all of those marks. And I hope to hear more why I need to slow down, Phil. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tracy. Our third evaluator is Jill Rory. Jill, tell us how our speaker can improve, please.
Good morning, everyone, and especially Eric. Your speech, you wanted to be effective and leave us with a smile. And I think you did that. And since this is the third time we've heard this speech, there's been improvements. There's still some things you can improve. And because of that, I think I'm going to be a little bit more critical than normal. So just bear with me here. One of the things I've noticed in your talking and knowing you over the years, I keep on hearing about your learning disabled. I don't know if there is a label like dyslexic or something like that you have, but if you could throw that in instead of constantly saying learning disabled, I think it would make the speech more in tune with the person listening. Another thing, you talked about some things excellently, but I think you shortened your speech too much this time. Because this speech is about distinguished alumni. It's not about someone who has graduated high school. It's about someone who's done something with themselves after. And what you have done after is very important. You've been president of AM Lockport a couple times now. You graduated from Canisius, which from everything I gather, nobody thought was even possible for you. So that in itself, those two things, you've been very active in the community. I think you need to bring more of that out. You know, not just say thank you, AM Lockport Toastmasters, but thank you for what you have done for me. You talked quite a bit about your one teacher, and that was very good. The one thing you threw in this time, which wasn't there before, was you threw in about the your nickname Jimbo for your love of James Bond. That was kind of awkward. It came out of nowhere. It didn't belong in there. But your vocal variety was excellent. Your eye contact was very good, considering that we all know you're trying to read this speech because you want it to be perfect. It'd be nice if we all had teleprompters in front of us. So, Eric, keep working on it. We're looking forward to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Mr. Timer, how did our evaluators do in regards to time?
Yep, all three qualified with Mike Licata at 319, Tracy at 216, and Jill at 309. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. And please take a moment to vote when the poll comes up. And there it is. More movie quotes. Let's see. This is a hard one. You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow. What movie is that from?
Oh, darn.
That's a hard one. I did not know this.
The Have and Have Not.
Wow. 1944.
I
Well
got
done,
it?
Dave. You did. Master of Trivia. Impressive. I just knew. I feel like it's Mae West. Like, that's all I knew. Well done. I mean, funny. I'm a clown. I amuse you.
Good fellas.
Very nice. My Italian guys, they know their stuff. 1990. Love it. I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Hannibal Lecter.
It is Hannibal Lecter.
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs.
There we are.
Silence of the Lambs. 1991, I believe. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
1939. That's how old that is. That's insane, right? What else do we got? If you build it, he will come.
Field of Dreams.
Dreams.
1989. It's misquoted all the time. But well done. Another hard one. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. The Usual Suspects. I stumped you guys, finally.
Wow.
1995.
Constantine?
Nope. The Usual Suspects. Good guess.
Oh, The Usual Suspects. Gotcha.
The Usual, yes, correct. And this one's for Eric. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Airplane.
Plane 1.
Airplane.
Plane 1 specific. Yes, I love it.
I speak jive.
I do have more, but I'm going to save them for after the reports because we do have a little extra time. So I'm going to call for reports here, and then I will call on the general evaluator. I won't dump everything on the general evaluator. And I'm going to save the word master for last. I will call on our grammarian, Dave Licata. How did we do?
You played it for her, you can play it for me. If she can take it, so can I. Play it, Sam. And the other one from the same movie, We'll Always Have Paris.
Nice.
Thank God.
All right. Mike Florio, guilty of excellent grammar. Yang, sadly, technical difficulties. I have no power over Yang. Darcy, excellent grammar. David Jones, excellent grammar. Steve Smith, excellent grammar. Len Thornton gets 2 stars. He gets 2 stars this morning. I love segue, and I love the fact that he used story arch. I like that. Carol Ann, somewhere Vivian Lee is smiling. And Beth, you were talking about Butterfly McQueen. So we see Butterfly McQueen in Gone with the Wind, and we don't see her again until guess who's coming to dinner. Mike Licata, excellent grammar. Joe Budnack, you're guilty, and Mike pointed it out as well. I have a real problem with you know, and my catchphrase is, no, we don't know. That's why we're letting you speak. So that's a personal problem that I have with you know. Tracy Farrell, excellent grammar. Phil Russell, excellent grammar. Jill Roaring. Okay, Eric, I want you to lose prestigious and just go to honor. Sometimes your mic was garbled, which is not a grammar problem, but a technical problem. And here's a line that is, this is free, Eric, no charge. I went to John Pound. Yes, I was a pound puppy. So they give you a little humor. And that's the end of the grammarian report for today.
Thank you, David. Can I have an honest report? Katie.
I would love to. I also didn't listen as carefully as I ought to have. I listened and didn't hear a ton. Carol, you're still struggling sometimes. Your words and vocabulary so well, but I stopped at 5. I heard uhs and ums sprinkled through, but I was also taking notes and trying to coordinate on the back end. I shouldn't have been multitasking. Whatever happened to single tasking? And so everybody, I just added another one. I'm trying not to give those so's.
Slow down.
I know, that's part of it. Thank you, Mike. And then I guess I'll just do announcements at the end. But thank you for this topic. This was so fun today, very iconic. My favorite movie swept the Academy Awards one of my college years, 1997. My favorite movie is The English Patient. And I looked up some quotes, and there are a lot where the language is so flowering. I picked 3 quick ones. The first, you speak so many bloody languages, and you never want to talk. That's a good one for us Toastmasters. For anyone who's unfamiliar with The English Patient, Best Film 1997 and 7 other Academy Awards. It takes place before, during, and after World War II in Africa and Italy. The other 2 quotes. All I ever wanted was a world without maps. That's beautiful. And my top one here. A woman should never learn to sew, and if she can, she shouldn't admit it. That's funny in the context of the movie. Although I've sewed most of my life. Thank you, Mom, for that. So I'll have announcements at the end. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, for this theme. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Quizmaster Mike Florio.
Oh, here we go. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. You ready? Here we go. What was Gerald's job? What did he tell us kids his job was?
He told them he was a spy.
A spy. He was a spy, a secret agent, man. Gerald of the world. That's pretty good. What did Maggie usually have for lunch?
A lecture.
There you go, David. Come on now. Turn his mic off, somebody. Somebody reach in. Turn his mic off. He's going to answer him off.
Hey, when you're grammarian, you got to listen.
Yeah, that's true. What was Sylvia's favorite movie?
Was it
Steel
Ross?
Magnolias? No.
Gone with the Wind.
Crazy.
Gone with the Wind.
You can't handle Sylvia's truth.
Oh, a few good men.
All right. All right. Well, Len told you a lot of the quotes, but what was the movie?
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, of course. He's got that going for him, you know.
Which is nice.
Which is
nice. There you go. Total consciousness at his deathbed. I mean, that movie. We'll be playing golf together, Len. I'm sure we'll be, telling a few of those on the 8th or 9th hole after the 3rd or 4th beer. Anyway, let's see. What's Carol Ann's favorite movie?
Hers is Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind, yes. How many months pregnant was Beth's
8.5.
person? 8.5. Now, who goes to something like that with their goal to have a baby at the place? Wow.
When it's 80 degrees out. That's a good idea.
And what was the quote? What were the women saying?
I don't know nothing about no births and babies.
I don't know nothing about birth, no babies. That's awesome. That's awesome. What was Joe's job? We should all know what Joe's job is. Joe Budnick's job.
Substitute teacher.
And where did he go to school?
And he went to Newfane.
Well, I mean, for
Oh,
college.
Buff State.
There you go. There
He's
you go.
not a substitute. He was.
He was, but now he's full time. Good.
Been for a while,
The
guys.
teacher's
Catch
aide
up.
now. Yeah.
Catch up.
Mhm.
And now he's going to learn to be a leader, so that's good too, and he'll be a great leader. Who's Phil's favorite actor?
John Wayne.
My best sway.
Somehow I think of Marlon Brando for a minute. I don't know why.
Let's see. When's Eric's speech?
August 20th.
August 20th. Look at that. Somebody's really paying attention. And what's his dad's name? He's a great guy. I met him. He's just the wild.
George Schneider.
George. And who said talking about,
Fonz.
Fonz. Who was that? Who mentioned the Fonz? Was that Eric?
Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I have. That was fun.
Yeah, very thorough. Thank you, Mike. I'd like to get a report from my gender evaluator first, and then we'll go to the word master. She'll tell us all about the word iconic.
Okay. This is a fascinating meeting. A lot of great movie quotes. I would like to throw in the quote, "Badges, we don't need no stinking badges," was also used in Blazing Saddles, obviously as a tribute to the Sierra Madre. Now, there are a lot of good quotes from Blazing Saddles. Unfortunately, I can't use any of them here. And if you know the movie, you know why. But it was a very funny movie. So it was a great topic, and we all had fun with it today. On to the evaluators. Now, Mike Licata got into some of the technical details about making a speech better, which we all need. Because we are, at least I will admit to this is not my field working on this thing. But I do the best I can. So anytime someone can give a little something to help out, I appreciate that. Jill tries, but that's not her fault. It's me. But now, Tracy had a lot of good things to say about Phil. I didn't hear too many improvements, but that's tough to do with a speaker like Phil. I get that because he is so talented. Just Phil, you need to loosen up a little more. Jill, I like the way she came out right off the bat and said, I'm going to be more critical because this is your third attempt at this, so you should be a little more critical. And she was. But she did talk about the good parts of his speech as well as giving some very specific ways to improve it. But she did have one thing I need to comment on. She was talking about something. She gave two different examples, and she said, and these two things, and then she trailed off and didn't finish that thought. So I'm not sure what she meant to say there. She went on with something else. That was the only, I don't even like to use the word criticism because we're not criticizing, we're helping people improve. But all three evaluators did do, in my opinion, a very good job. And the meeting was a very excellent meeting. So I have nothing bad to say about any of this. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. And now our word master, Margot Bittner.
So as always, up front, it did get quite a bit of use. I was told when I first joined Toastmasters that if you want a word to be your own, you want to include it in your vocabulary on a daily basis, you need to say it 3 times. So today's word of the day was?
Iconic, iconic,
Iconic.
Everybody said the word. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Margot. I'm going to take the liberty of doing a few more quotes since we're having such a good time. And I know some of you will know these. Say hello to my little friend.
Scarface.
Scarface.
1983. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry.
Didn't finish it. Beautiful. 1971.
Do you, punk?
That's right. Thank you. You had the whole thing. Beautiful. You had me at hello.
Jerry Maguire.
Maguire.
Yeah.
1996. Hello, my name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
1987.
Marriage.
I'll have what she's having.
Oh,
When Harry met Sally.
Cat Steiner. 19.
Campos used to hang out in that deli.
Is that right? I'll be back.
Terminator.
Terminator 1.
1.
Yes, correct. 1984. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Jaws.
Oh, God.
50 years.
Number 3 on this list. Yes, a long time ago. Number 2 on this. Here's looking at you, kid.
Casablanca.
1942. And number 1 on both lists, Carol will be happy to hear. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn.
Gone
with the wind.
That was the first time they used the word damn in a movie.
That's why it was iconic. Yes, well done. Well done, everybody. I did hear from Kate that there is some announcements, possibly.
Oh, sure, I can jump back in. Thank you. For anyone not following the chat on the side, Darcy was looking for a replacement speaker for next week. So Yang has stepped up a week ahead of her scheduled icebreaker. So she will be giving an icebreaker next week. And our Toastmaster is Marty. I wonder if Marty has a theme. You don't have to jump in right now, but think of that. And maybe today you can tell us that, Marty. And then the following week, Darcy will take her spot and Margot is the Toastmaster. So I'm sure she's been thinking of a theme for that week. And we had a great lunch. I'm sorry I missed the opening announcements, but we had a great luncheon at the Beer Project on Saturday. Photos did I say Beer Project? Well, the last 4 years was at Beer Project. And we went to Big Ditch this year. Thanks, Eric, again, for coordinating all of that. And All right, Marty, do you have a theme for next week?
He just put in the chat his theme is summer pastimes.
Fantastic. Summer pastimes for next week. And again, in our chat, thank you, Eric, for putting in our speakers next week are Mary, Sylvia, and Yang with her icebreaker. Any questions, please let me know. And keep an eye on the district website, and reminder that the international conference is nearby again in Philadelphia. It's been a few years since it's been so close, just a month away now. So if you have questions, looks like a couple of us are going. And I think that's it. I don't have any further announcements right now.
I have a little bit of trivia I can share.
Oh boy.
Please.
Okay, so you ever driving down the highway and you're behind a semi trailer, and below the doors there's a horizontal bar. Sometimes it'll be striped like white and red, white and red. Anybody know what that's called?
So the
CCI
headache
bar.
bar.
CCI bar.
No,
Headache bar.
it's called the Mansfield bar.
The Mansfield bar.
This is where it gets a little bit morbid.
Jane Mansfield
named
was
after
decapitated in that accident.
Yeah, it's named after Jane Mansfield, who in 1967 was a passenger in a sports car that didn't stop when the semi did, and semis would frequently decapitate people in small sports cars. So the government mandated that bar be put there to stop the cars from going underneath the trailer. So now you know.
Interesting.
Everyone know too that Mariska Hargitay is her daughter and was in the back of that car.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There was a on Showtime or Max? They just did a documentary called My Mom Jane. Anybody has seen that yet?
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I have another little bit of trivia. John Wayne, somebody was doing his swagger before, and that was a trick that John had so that they couldn't cut away from him and the camera would have to stay on him and he got more screen time. And I learned that from somebody that I was working with, that actually John Wayne lived in his community and he gave him, this young actor, his break in film, and he told me that.
Yes. Well, great. Awesome. One thing that has not been delivered yet, at least to me anyway, is the winners of our polls. I don't know if Mr. President knows. Has it been delivered to you?
I did send it to you. I thought I did. Well, no, maybe I didn't paste it in there or hit send. But now you have it.
There you go.
Okay. Do you have it, Mr. President? Because I still don't have it.
No.
While they're figuring that out, I came on late. So did Anne Marie already talk? Anne Marie, it's so good to see you on Zoom. Did you share something about movie quotes before I came on late?
No, it's great visiting again. I mean, what a dynamic club, really, just unbelievable. And Gerald, I love the topic. It's so engaging. And, I looked on the internet, I didn't realize there were over 100 famous quotes. The speeches were so professional and organized and inspirational, really. I've seen so much growth over the years and, just really great speakers. When I thought about my favorite quote, it was already quoted from Dead Poets Society, Carpe diem, seize the day, make your life extraordinary. I think that really is iconic. But my favorite movie really wasn't mentioned as Woman in Gold, 2015. And it really takes you back to World War II and Nazi concentration camps. And there was a famous Jewish woman. The woman is played by Helen Mirren. And she goes back 50 years later because oftentimes in Nazi World War II, all of the belongings, especially famous paintings, were stolen from the Nazis and confiscated. She goes back to Vienna, to her childhood and her memories, trying to get back her.
I Soldier C.
Yeah. Which is Gustav Klimt's Lady in Gold, now worth $135 million. And just an enchanting, wonderfully done movie. And a couple of her quotes, she says, "If life is a race, you beat me to the finish. But if life is a boxing match, I'm the last one standing.
Nice.
Another famous quote is when people see this portrait of Lady in Gold, they see a masterpiece by a famous artist. But I see a picture of my wonderful aunt, a woman who talked to me while brushing my hair. And actually, it is a documentary, and she was able to get the portrait back, and it's now in the United States, housed in the one of our New York museums. So just a wonderful, iconic, classic, upbeat movie.
Awesome.
So thank you again for a wonderful meeting, really enjoyable, and
Yeah.
I appreciated the wonderful speeches. Thank you, Mr.
Awesome.
Toastmaster.
Thank you. All right. I know I'm not supposed to apologize, but Mark Campos, you did send it to me already. I am just Zoom impaired. The winners, table topics, please round of applause. Carol Ann Halstead. Yay. And our best evaluator, Jill Roaring. She's happy. And our best speaker, Phil Russell.
Yeah.
Well done, all. Any other announcements? We have 4 minutes left, or anything else anybody who hasn't gotten to share would like to share?
I want to point out that had Phil Russell joined me on the golf course yesterday, that I hit a easily 25-foot putt for par 3.
Well done, Dave. Anything
So
else?
now I can never give up golf because I had one good shot in my life.
Keeps you going, they say.
Yeah.
I guess I do have one more announcement, just so everyone knows. If you've been looking ahead on the website agendas, we're still trying to update those because we want to fix the timing and split out the Wagmaster. That's been done on some of them. It's all set for next week, but the following week and beyond, we're trying to just fix it so that it's more accurate. And I appreciate your patience. Otherwise, I did drop the schedule in your emails a couple weeks and in the chat today. If you have any questions, it'll be on the website shortly. Len, thank you very much for taking care of that. But if you do have questions, you know how to reach me. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you for all the hard work. And I believe at this point, I turn it over to the officer of the day, which is Marty. He will close the meeting.
Thank you, Gerald. If there are no further announcements, the meeting's adjourned. Look forward to seeing everyone next week. Our meeting theme is favorite pastimes. And as someone mentioned, our speakers for next week are Mary Elizabeth Yang with her icebreaker, Sylvia and Maggie is the alternate. Evaluators are Gerald, Eric, Kate, and the general evaluator is Jill. I look forward to seeing everyone next week. Have a wonderful weekend.